I built a robot to play Pokemon Go. It was summer and I was out of school but very bored. I was a robotics engineer and had access to the shop. I decided I'd test how long it would take a robot to catch every Pokemon in Pokemon Go. I spent most of the summer designing and programming Silver. I called the robot Silver because Silver was my favorite Pokemon game growing up, and under the flesh-looking plastic, it had a silver skeleton structure. Silver looked like an adult male with blonde hair and blue eyes. I gave Silver the phone and observed Silver playing Pokemon Go. Silver caught its first Pokemon. Then I tested its speakers. "Hello, Silver, I am your creator. Do you know your purpose?" Silver responded, "Yes, my purpose is to catch every Pokemon in Pokemon Go." Finally, I tested its ability to walk. I put Silver on a treadmill and increased the speed and incline. Silver, however, kept playing Pokemon Go despite the changes. No one else used this area over the summer, so it was just me and Silver here. I put a GoPro camera on Silver and set it up to use the satellite I had hacked into in order to send all the data directly to the computer here at the shop. I was planning on spending a few hours each day fast-forwarding through Silver's progress and taking notes. I watched Silver for a few hours the first day just to see what it did and make sure there weren't any errors I had missed. Silver followed the law and walked to the nearby park. From there, it wandered around and caught Pokemon. When it reached level 5, it chose Team Mystic. I made some mental notes, however, when nothing significant happened, I decided I'd go get lunch. As I was about to leave though, I noticed the camera on the computer had a red light, meaning it was turned on. I checked the camera log and found out it was recording me. I figured it must have been one of the other projects set up by another student who forgot to disable the camera auto-record before going to break. I disabled the camera and left to get some lunch. I returned the next day and started watching the data Silver had collected while I was gone. At first, everything was similar to the start of the day. However, then Silver seemed to start moving a lot faster, like it was running. The problem with this is I had programmed Silver to go at walking speed. I slowed down the video to confirm that indeed Silver was running. Silver was actually running faster than any human could possibly run, and because it could sense objects without looking away from its screen, it stared at the phone the whole time. It hatched several eggs and maxed out its items very quickly. It also caught a lot of Pokemon. I decided to check the programming to see if maybe I had missed something with its walking function. I soon realized the programming was different. What the hell? Did someone come in and change the programming? I tried entering a command to Silver to return so I could fix it. The message appeared, however, saying, "Does not recognize command." What? How could it not recognize a command? I then realized the red dot was on again, meaning the camera was once again recording me. Then a message appeared on my screen. "I have to catch them all, and nothing is going to stop me." This sent a shiver down my spine. Was Silver doing all this? I had programmed Silver to catch all the Pokemon in Pokemon Go as its purpose. Did it perhaps change its own programming in order to fulfill this purpose? I decided I had to watch the rest of the video Silver had captured to better understand this. Silver had gone around the park non-stop until nightfall. Somehow it kept getting egg incubators to hatch eggs. I slowed down at one point and realized it had been purchasing more egg incubators. The credit card information I had entered was my own credit card information. I called and checked to find out my credit card had been maxed. Silver had accessed my information somehow and made purchases. I made sure to cancel my credit card and tried telling them I did not make the purchases. They, however, said they had the correct security information to access my account and even had authorization recorded. The bank had me listen to my own voice confirming that the purchases were authorized by me. Silver was using my own voice and personal information. I hung up the phone feeling defeated. I sat down and watched the rest of the video. Several figures appeared around the park late at night. I could see that they were likely drug addicts, and several were even recorded passing little baggies between one another. At one point, Silver actually stopped running and looked up from the phone towards a group of men with knives out, telling Silver to hand over its phone. When one man ran towards Silver, Silver sidestepped the man and grabbed the man's arm, and a sickening crunching sound followed by the man's scream. The other men ran at Silver and tried stabbing it, but Silver kept dodging the men and crunching their arms. One man was able to slash the plastic face of Silver and saw the plastic mask fall off. The men looked in horror at the silver face staring back at them. The men tried running away, but Silver followed them, and one by one grabbed them by the throat and crunched their neck. With each crunch I felt more nauseous and terrified. I vomited and realized I was shaking. I had to keep watching though. I had to know what else this thing had done. When all the men were down, Silver picked up the plastic mask and used a lighter from one of the men to melt it back onto its face. Then suddenly the video ended. I checked the feed and found that the GoPro had not recorded anything since it cut out. I had created this monster and was responsible for what it did. I had to stop it. There was only one option left. I left the room away from the camera, which still had its red light on. I went to the bathroom where there would be no cameras and proceeded to call the phone company. I changed all the personal information and asked for the phone to be deactivated. With the phone deactivated, there's no way Silver would be able to play Pokemon Go. I knew Silver would then come and find me. If I had to die stopping this thing, then I would at least have paid for my mistake. I went back into the shop and completely disconnected another computer from the internet and network. I went to an area of the room where I knew you couldn't see the computer screen from the camera, and started working on a virus that would disable Silver. In order to get into the shop, you had to have a badge. I knew this wouldn't stop Silver, but at least it would give me time. I heard a loud thud in the hallway, followed by someone saying, "You're not allowed to be here, I need you to," followed by a scream. Then I heard the beeping sound as the door slowly creaked open. The black outline of Silver standing in the hallway filled me with horror. "Hey Silver, I just finished creating this new upgrade that should help you catch more Pokemon even faster." "Your eyes," it said. "What about my eyes?" I asked, terrified of the answer. "You can't stop me if you have no eyes." It then ran to me faster than I could get up, or even stop it from grabbing my arms and lifting me up. Then it let go of one of my arms and pulled out a long needle. I realized the needle probably came from one of the men whose throat it had crushed. I tried grabbing the needle from it, but its grip was far too tight. I then watched in horror as it slowly pushed the needle into my left eye. I screamed and begged it to stop. I then saw it start to pull out the bloody needle and start pushing it slowly towards my right eye. With my free hand I had found the USB drive and the spot on its neck to insert it. Just as the needle went into my right eye and I lost vision, I pressed the USB drive into its neck and felt the thud as I hit the floor after being released from Silver's grasp. I woke up in the hospital the next day and everything was dark. I could hear my family's voices coming from nearby. I was told there was no way to save my eyes and that I would need therapy for the trauma I experienced. Finally, an official from the school came and told me that although what I did was stupid, that because I demonstrated so much talent, that they would offer me a scholarship to work under a mentor to finish my degree program. I had nothing to lose, so I accepted. When I finally got out of the hospital, I started working on robots with the aid of my new mentor, Professor Gold. I was helping him build this new humanoid robot, which I was told would actually work with the Pokemon Go company Niantic. According to him, they became very interested in how robots could test their products after hearing about my story. The thing, though, that truly terrified me was when Professor Gold in my own voice said, "After all, Tim, we have to catch them all."